Hey guys, and welcome back to another movie review. Today I'll be reviewing the latest Pixar film, The Good Dinosaur. So The Good Dinosaur came out on Boxing Day here in Australia. I know America got it like a month ago. Unfortunately we had to wait another month, but anyway, it's here now, and I saw it yesterday with my brother. And we're both big fans of Pixar movies. We love the Toy Story trilogy, Finding Nemo, The Incredibles, Ratatouille, almost all of the Pixar films aside from the two Cars films and Brave. And as you probably know already, Pixar released Inside Out earlier this year. So this is the first year they've actually released two films in 1 year. I believe this movie was supposed to be released last year, but they had a lot of production problems, so they finally worked on it and sorted everything out and released it this year. So I was excited to see this movie. The trailers made it look fantastic. The scenery, the setting, everything just looked amazing about this movie, and it's a visually stunning film. It's probably one of the best animated movies you'll ever see as far as the animation goes. It's really realistic looking landscapes and backgrounds and mountains, mountain ranges and things like that. That aspect of the film was handled perfectly. The characters are a lot more cartoonish than their environment, so it kind of clashes a little bit there, but I think it looks good. It kind of suits the Pixar style. I do like the look of the main character, Arlo, the dinosaur. So anyway, the basic story of this film is what if the meteorite that hit Earth and made the dinosaurs extinct passed Earth. So that kind of happens at the beginning of the film, and then it shows these dinosaurs are still around. They become farmers for some reason. So they're living on this farm. Arlo is the youngest of three kids. He's kind of the clumsy one that's, kind of a coward and scared of everything. Anyway, one day in a freak storm, Arlo gets swept downstream and loses his way and has to pretty much find his way back to his family. And it follows a lot of typical traits that you might see in a family animated film like this. That was probably one of the things that let it down for a lot of people, myself included, that it was very predictable in certain areas. And what I've come to love, and what most people have come to love from Pixar films, is originality. And this is another original Pixar film, but it does use a lot of things that we've seen before in some of their previous films, as well as a lot of other animated movies. And if you compare this to the Inside Out film that came out earlier this year, that was so original and so unique and just handled really well. This movie was handled well in some aspects and not so well in other aspects, like the storytelling. Anyway, so along his journey, Arlo discovers this little boy named Spot, who's kind of like his pet dog. He's kind of this feral little kid who can't speak, and he just acts kind of like a dog, so he's kind of like his pet. Anyway, they become best friends throughout the film, and I guess the emotional attachment, or that's supposed to make you feel anything in this movie, is their connection as friends and becoming closer throughout the film. And I thought that aspect of the film was handled quite well. It was quite emotional at certain points. There was a few sad scenes throughout the movie, which we've come to expect from Pixar films. There's also a few quite funny scenes throughout the film. I wouldn't say even those funny scenes or emotional scenes hold up even to a lot of Pixar's previous films, like even Inside Out with Bing Bong's character, or the end of Toy Story 3. This film just doesn't hold up in a lot of ways like those films do. The movie's also pretty violent for a kids' film. It doesn't shy away from showing the intensity of the wilderness and the elements of being out in the wild when you're unprepared and not ready. So yeah, there's a few animals and creatures that die along the way, a bit of blood and bruising, but I didn't think it was too bad. I think most kids would probably be able to handle it. I also really enjoyed the soundtrack for the film. It had a kind of folk sound, and I think it really worked well for the story and the setting. So at the end of the day, The Good Dinosaur is still a good animated film. I think it's just because we're comparing it to other Pixar movies. If it was a standalone film from another company, I think most people would like it even more so than they do. But it still was an enjoyable film. I liked it for the most part. It just wasn't up to scratch. Obviously the visual effects were amazing, probably one of the best looking films I've ever done. So even with all its flaws, I still really enjoyed The Good Dinosaur, and I'm going to recommend it. I'm going to give it a B+ because I still actually quite enjoyed it. So thanks everyone for watching my quick review of the new Pixar film, The Good Dinosaur. Go and check it out if you want to. If you're not that keen on it, probably just wait for it to come out on Blu-ray and DVD and check it out for the visual effects even, because alone that's just worth seeing it for. So thanks guys for watching my review, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye.